report. That's fantastic. Good early afternoon. Let me just timestamp this real quick. Good early afternoon, 1:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Friday, December 29th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. We have a lot to talk about here on the Midday Market Report. We'll get into XRP. As we know, it dumped down a little bit, and it's actually a very, very good thing. We'll get into that at the end of this Midday Market Report. I don't know if the comments aren't working today or if there just hasn't been any comments. But something tells me the comments may not be working right now, which is, it is what it is. But it's going to make it a little interesting because I can't see what anybody's saying. So I have found a trick to circumvent this. We can try it. It's just going to make it look like I'm not here for a second. But I find more value in seeing what everybody's saying, to be honest with you. But let's just see if we can do this. Okay, we're back on, but I don't know if that solved any problem or not. If I can't see the comments, I can't see the comments. I'll go walk inside and grab my phone so that I can see everybody. Let me go do that just in case. For some reason, YouTube's not showing the comments, which, you know, it happens from time to time. Not much I can do about that. But let me go grab my phone so that I can see if anybody's saying anything. Just give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, I see there's comments. I knew there was comments. So for whatever reason, it's not showing it. So let me just get to the comments and then we'll go. I can see you on my phone. It just doesn't. If I could see it on the tablet, you'd be able to see it on my tablet yourself as well. So unfortunately, no. Chance, welcome in. Rockin' Painter, good afternoon. Boris, Angela, welcome in, love. And Mel as well, greetings to you as well. Boris, I'm glad to see you here even though you are working. JW, welcome in. Good afternoon. Love you like a man loves another man. Laugh my. Hey, I appreciate that. The love is reciprocated to you, rockin' XRP Painter. Mo, good evening. Kryptonian, welcome in. Angela, good to see you. At least I can see everybody on my phone. So I'll just set my phone right, like, let's see. What's the best way to even do this? I don't even know. I don't usually look at my phone when I'm doing this, but I'll put my phone like that and see how it works. So anyhow, so let's start like this. We're going to be a little excited. I'm not even sure why so many people are here at the Midday Market Report to start, to be honest with you. But I'm glad everybody's here to start. Cleo, welcome in, my friend. I'm glad to see you here as well. But the Dow Jones is down 60 points. I'm sure everybody's waiting to get the XRP because I think what's happening is spectacular. Because I want us to dump down, clear out the relative strength. But we'll get to that in due process. So right now with the Dow, we've talked about how eventually it's going to have to clear out just a little bit. We're in the overbought range. There's no doubt about that. It's just with the U.S. backing this with their money printing, it just makes it very difficult for me to just say it's ready to just go down now. Or is it going to continue up to 37,000? To me, it makes most sense for this just to break through and come back and retest the structure breakout because it has never done it. The broadening wedge that it's broke out of, it's never retested it yet. So if we want to retest this after the major breakout, it makes a lot of sense for it to come down. It's actually in the area we're in. It's up just a tad. It's actually right around that 36,250 area. That would be the area right now that we would expect to have a retracement if it happens. The problem is when the government's printing money into oblivion, they can just kind of pump this out. So look, it's already come down and it's showing signs of a reversal in the 2-hour possibly. After two 2-hour candles. So we'll see what happens here. And the sell volume's not really there. It's not that attractive. So be cautious with the Dow. But if you're trading those, if you're trading some of those entities, be very cautious in what you're doing. DXY is up 101 spot 26, up 5 cents or 0.05%. This is zero surprise to our community, and I only say that Mo says, as a cat owner myself, you have shown kindness to an animal which will forever be remembered. I'm sorry to hear about the story in the earlier YouTube. Some people are nasty. Hey, yeah, and I, you know, I just let it all hang out in the earlier, but I'm back to myself now. You know, you got to have your emotions in check, but that was one that I just let it out, you know, and that I was being as real as I could. And I also had a great educational moment there too, teaching everybody about the RSI in a blunt way. But yeah, you know, people are cruel. But at least the more I think about it, at least I was able to give that kitty love for its last 5 or 6 months, because it certainly didn't get it before whoever abused it and put it out on the street and whatever. But, you know, it's one of those things. So, but as in life, we have to move forward and we have to keep positivity over negativity. Otherwise, we'll lose our own mindset. But I appreciate the kind words. I really, 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 really do. So with the DXY, it had a huge reversal because we talked about it yesterday. I know we talked about it the day before. But this was so far. This is what we want for XRP. Heads up, FYI. We want something like this with the relative strength index. We want it to break down into these levels like 8. It forces you to have a reversal. Even if it's bearish, it'll show you where the reversal's at. Now, if you go far enough down and you build enough pressure, you could have magnificent breakouts like what this untold story is here. And it's trying to tell us a story in the RSI. There's an untold story here about why XRP isn't finished going down possibly and why crypto needs to go down farther. What if the story to play out here is like this, bounce, boom, and then it needs a retest at some point? Do you think the government has the potential, maybe not to go all the way up, but to at least bounce it out, make it more attractive, and then it pours back out? I wouldn't necessarily be watching for 108, but what I do have my eyes on, if and only if it plays out in some kind of structure where 101 spot 69 somehow it comes out of, but somehow it comes out with life, which, let's be honest, the US dollar is in a terrible spot, and for this to go anywhere, it would have needed to have cleared out like it did. But at some point, it's got to relieve pressure, and that's what it's going to try to do here. Understand the daily RSI will go up in 4 hours and 54 minutes to start next week. But this is a beautiful reversal candle, and it's a beautiful retracement time for precious metals. I've been talking about it. And I want the retracement from precious metals for the same reason I want the DXY to go up, for the same reason I want XRP to go down. If we can clear out the relative strength in any one entity, you're either oversold or overbought. You either have too many people coming to the party or not enough. We want not enough coming to the party. And then as we grow, we get more and more. And then the ones who don't want to be there, there's plenty of room for them to also come on board. Right now, though, you know, we don't have enough people here. We're overcrowded. How about that? We're overcrowded. The fire marshal says you can only have 100 people. We have 117. We're overcrowded. Well, some people are going to leave just because they're afraid of their own well-being now because you're overcrowded. And you'll probably end up with 50 people, even though the max capacity is 100. Because people get caught up in the volatility. That's the same thing with the relative strength. If it's too high on any one, and I guess it's not an entity, but any one security, any one trade, you know, any one whatever investment, you get too many people all in one place. I mean, that's just how it goes. So, Devin, welcome in. CJ2 Pilot, yes indeed, yes indeed. Cleo, welcome. I think I already said hi to Cleo, but never a bad thing to say hi twice. So that's what's going on with the DXY and the Dow. The 10-year government bond, it's in the same predicament. Way in the oversold in the daily. This is a beautiful opportunity. I wish I knew something in the government bonds. I wish XRP looked like this. When XRP looks like this in the RSI, even if it trends a little bit lower, this is when I'm going to be looking at my next futures trade for anybody who pays attention to that side and when I speak in code. So until that happens, I'm not touching anything. I'm already long on XRP from 34.6 cents. Now it's about expanding what we have. So this is what we're looking at. The W reverse. I'm going to shut off the, I can't see anybody, but that's okay. Please make sure to hit that like button so that we can help expand this live. 42 people watching, 29 likes. Please hit that like button. It does expand the reach of my content, and it allows more people to come in here and have an active discussion. We'll have a very active discussion tonight about crypto when we see where we're going around 6:30 p.m. It's going to be very fun leading into the close. I'm going to have a lot of fun tonight. We might even have a shot in the honor of my kitty. Because it adopted me when it came over here, you know, and I took care of it while it was alive. So, man, the U.S. government 10-year bonds, it needs a reversal here. It's going to have to come up here. We had a death cross. You're either going to come up here and retest around the 4% mark, or it could even be a little overzealous to start the week up to 4.1. That's where we're going to see how bearish we are. Otherwise, this is getting into the range where we could start our reversal here finally. We're in that area now. We know it. We're in that area. The only thing that I could say that could validate what we were thinking when it was at the almost 5% range when we thought it could come down here and do this, because it's been out here for a long time, that this could actually come through. Maybe that creates that left arm, and then it comes down, builds it. Maybe it does something like that if it were to get rejected at the death cross in the daily. But in the 2-hourly, we can clearly see we're rotating a little bit. It's just, now you need to consolidate properly within the short term. This is how you do it. This is going to build itself. I guarantee it. I can't guarantee 100%, but within 99.9% certainty, this is going to come up there and hit that 200-day. Even if it's bearish, it's coming up there. So expect a rally up to that 4% mark at worst. You know, worst case scenario. Best case scenario is this comes up here, gives crypto a little bit of time to move, just the value, and it comes up here and gets a firm rejection, and then it's going to have a lot of utility. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. The government can play this one of two ways. They can either be buyers or sellers of last reserve. So the problem with that is they can be buyers or sellers of last reserve. So they can literally do whatever they want. And it's not our government, it's the central banks. Don't be fooled. Our government may be printing the money, but it's, oh, I'm getting into something JW would say. You're getting into something that you shouldn't be talking about. I'm going to move on. Crude oil, because we're already getting long in the tooth here for the midday market report. Down Down 0.4% or 30 cents to 71.69 per ounce, priced in US dollars. Bear flag has been put in. The problem is way oversold. We're getting into that area where if we drop down again, we're going to have a nice reversal. If you're a fan of oil and you want to see a magnificent move to come, root for this down play. Root for the play down at minimum to there. To be honest with everybody, because we can see the new, you know, the actual form pattern. We can come through this and actually get a identifiable way of seeing the true pattern. And I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to do this through the body this time because it makes the most sense. And we can get an actual target if it breaks through here. Because you need to know it in this, because this is a wedge. So it's either going to break there, but I'm going to be honest with everybody. If crude oil breaks down, we're going to have to find something to buy. This would be my number one agenda. My number one agenda. I've already got $4,000 approximately. Well, it was $3,500 when I put it in B2 gold, but it's up to like 39 something. But I've also got just over $1,000 on the sidelines to try to find, if this comes down here, mark my words, if this comes down to 60, what is this, 64? If this is down at 64, there's chances are you better pay attention to the midday market report. I'm going to have a nice dividend paying oil stock that I'm going to be invested in. It might only be $1,000, $1,500 to go on top of the $3,500 I have in B2 gold of my own money. But this is the way I build things, because eventually this is going to come rocketing out of here. I'm telling everybody, this is a chance in history right now with crude. This is unprecedented what's about to happen. They cut oil reserves. We've went through our own oil reserves to keep the price of gas down by a few cents. It makes zero damn sense. But at the same time, as the Saudis are cutting off exports to our great country and other countries around that are not part of the BRICS, you mean to tell me that it's becoming less valuable of a commodity? That'd be like me saying there's 10 slices of bread left in the world and saying, that's it. That would be the most valuable loaf of bread you've ever seen, compared to there's 10,000 loaves of bread and there's 50 people that need to be fed, and the rest, who cares? There would be no value. It would be pennies on the dollar compared to hundreds of dollars on it. I mean, that's what we're talking about here. So let's just understand what's happening here. Even if it comes down here, I'd be interested. But if it comes down here and gives us that grand out, I'm telling everybody right now, if you're interested in doing what I do, crypto and outside of crypto, I tell you, I'm my own central bank, but you have to have ways of building capital. My way through the commodities and understanding when to buy them are one way. Holding precious metals are another way against the US dollar. But you have to have ways to fluctuate money. Yes, crypto is good to me, but so is precious metals. I could have a channel equally as good, if not better, on precious metals because there's more to talk about. There's just as much as manipulation, but it's not as exciting to me because it's not a 24-hour market. In XRP, there's just something different to me. The ISO, there's just something different. The way we're going to transcend into digital, gold and silver has been around for eons, and it'll continue to be the best store of value known to man. Crypto, if you find the right ones in the Internet of Things and the ISO 20022 adapted ones, or ones that are at least play ball with it, you're going to be ahead, just like in the dot-com bubble before it became a bubble. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, well, you know, you missed it. Crypto, if you didn't buy in 2017 or 2013, I've heard it all, ladies and gentlemen. I've heard it all. But the honest to God truth is, have we flipped digital yet? Are we still using cash currency? Until there's no more dollars in circulation in your native countries to mine, it's still not digital. Until we use money, which is not money, they just say it's money even though it's currency. Until we use currency like a credit card where you don't see it, like your debit cards, they've been transcending us for decades with the debit cards. You don't need to carry cash, it's all on your card. You never even have to touch it. That means you don't own it. That means it can be taken. So until you see that happen across the board, you're not too late. When you're too late is when crypto goes from a, what are we at right now today? A $1.6 trillion industry to 150 trillion or 10 trillion. If it went to 10 trillion, sure, you might be too late after today. It's at 1.6. What would you expect? Everything would be almost 10 times more expensive. Even XRP, if we pulled in a 10 trillion total market cap, or total crypto market cap, I can guarantee you one thing, XRP would probably put on 1,000% gain at minimums. And it would be a lot more, but I'm just saying, look at that. So that would get you over $6 in itself. But that is calling for a $10 trillion market cap. There's a lot of room in a $10 trillion market cap for XRP to carve out. You know, it would have to carve out a decent amount in that scenario, though. That's what everybody needs to be aware of. XRP would still have, even in that scenario, you're looking at a, it gets dicey. We're not even going to go into that part of it, but let me continue with this. So that was crude. Gold's down about 50 cents, 2065. Gold's in need of that same correction. In need of that same correction as everything else I'm talking about for that massive explosion. This isn't a falling channel right now, so it's going to end up having a reversal, unfortunately, here, probably in some time. I am rooting against the reversal. I am begging this to be the reversal in the daily, and let this clear out all the way back down to at least 1930. If it wants to have a huge breakout, come back to like 1870, whitewash everybody who thought it was going up, let everybody sell it and call it a bunch of junk. Oh my goodness, if it does that, especially, and nobody wants to hear it, but if it came down even lower, but I don't even want to hear that. Because of where we're at, I want it to meet the X marks the spot area. If it does that by May, I'd be the happiest person. I want to do it quicker. I would love this just to dump out tomorrow, leave a lot of people pissed off, and the gold's down like 1900, 1930. It's just, I understand what needs to happen here. And this isn't it. We're topped. We topped out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a reversal. Be prepared. Like, I'm, for the time being, you know, even my buddy B2 Gold, you got to be out of it right now until it proves itself, because it's going to come down to support, and it might be at 307. But what I'm hoping for is this bust down. Even though it's going to be hard to break that down, I would like to see it back down here. I keep talking about that $2.40. Right now, it was not in my best interest to keep holding it when we got rejected here because I can see what's happening in gold. It's risky, but I also have the play. If it comes back up to 335, I could technically buy it back. But I actually made another decision here. This was the time to for me to be able to watch this from the sidelines a little bit and then be able to go back in full scale. I had about 1,222 shares. So hopefully when I buy back, I can have, and actually it's worth 3,864 right now, and I had 3,550 and some change invested. But yeah, so I'm looking to buy back. Hopefully I'll be able to buy, if it comes down where I want, about 14 to 1,500 shares. That's my goal anyhow. I don't know if it's going to happen. Short term we could have a correction, but I really believe, looking at all of this, it looks like it needs another move down. If we get that move down, I believe that would be, sorry, I'm trying to go back to the comments now so I can see if anybody has anything to say about any of this, because we're almost to the end here now. Vince from Chicago, hit that, yes, hit that like button, everybody. Please, please, please listen to Vince. And I appreciate everybody here at the Midday Market Report. Mo, welcome in. Actually, you've been here. I see you keeping Tom straight from time to time, but I have to ask, does it work with Bob? Well, it does work with Bob because you don't hear me very often, do you? Bob, that's not true, and this is the Midday Market Report. We already have very little viewers as it is, my friend. Well, you know, we're all on the same page here, Mo. Indeed we are. So, indeed we are. So, this is what I'm looking to play out. Sure, could it be a hold right here at about $3.05, maybe $3? If it is, it's fine. I'll buy it there if it has to be. But I would hope that this does the right thing and we clear out and we have that massive explosion here. We have another reversal candle here, but we do have what is an inverted hammer, so be very cautious here. Have a line in the sand if you want to own it or don't own it, because I'm very back and forth, but I have a, well, I'm not back and forth on wanting to own it. I like to play the volatility game, so I'll be in on one moment, out the other until I see the breakout and then the eventual long-term hold. It's no different than what I did with XRP, except I never bought it back until it was time. It only sold out once and then rebought back in at 346 when it came back down. So, other than that, you know, no point. Fortuna Silver Mines, $3.89. Again, this is looking like it's putting in a reversal candle, possibly. We need to correct here in the weekly. Daily's doing the same thing. It's on its way to correction. We should come down in a unified way, and where I marked it is where I expect it. I'm hoping it comes down to about $3.18. Clears this out. We just have to make sure this V-shaped recovery is broken down now, which it looks like it's trying to. But we have to make sure if they put in sneaky short-term bull flags. So just be aware of what's going on today across the market. Much too long midday market report, it feels like. And then XRP, last but not least, at down 2.22% to 62.11. As we talked about this morning, I'm looking for a dump. I'm looking for this to clear out this relative strength index. I don't want to beat a dead horse. If you want to see more about what I was saying earlier, I would encourage you to watch the video, even though it's kind of spicy this morning. But the broadening wedge, it's in our best interest. This is the bull flag support at 608. I'm rooting for a push down to here at about the 598 level. But I could certainly see why, if it stopped here, some would be favorable. But I want it to go right here, retest this double bottom, and then break out. And then break out. That's what I'm looking for. That gives us our best opportunity for XRP to have a volatile swing up. And once this gets sold into the oversold, I'm gonna show you exactly what I mean here in the days to come. Hopefully it'll happen sometime this weekend. It'll continue dumping by what is today, Friday. It's a thinly traded weekend. Maybe we get a nice little dump here to end the day, and then we can see if we can get down into those areas. But I'm gonna keep you guys updated, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to build this up, no matter how you're trying to do it, and how to recognize the market before the flip happens. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Make sure to hit that like button if you appreciate what I do. Consider subscribing to the channel and joining the over 19,500 subscribers as we're closing in on 20,000, which I can't even believe I'm saying that. If you want to show me personal support, you can always send a YouTube super chat or join Tom's Army. If you want to trade crypto, futures, by longing or shorting the market, or just spot trading with the lowest fees, just look at my video description. I'm not partnered with anybody, but I do put all the ways that I trade in there. So it'd be in your best interest to use the links. It makes it easy, keeps it all in one place. Have a blessed afternoon, everybody, and I'll see you back tonight at approximately 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And look at that, a sign of the angels. 222 is the time running this. The cat must be watching over